Best comeback. The Tigers were in a 17-0 hole at halftime against Houston and trailed 31-14 late in the third quarter before orchestrating one of the more memorable comebacks in school history. Memphis scored 42 second-half points, and quarterback Riley Ferguson delivered the game-winning score on a 21-yard touchdown pass to tight end Sean Dykes with 1:28 to go. "First drive we scored pretty quickly, and that did it," cornerback T.J. Carter said at the start to Thursday's second half. "Everybody was just hyped on the sideline. We got this. We got this. We never stopped. You can knock us down, but we're going to keep punching, keep fighting until all the zeros are on the clock. That's our mentality." Memphis coach Mike Norvell explains how his team erased a 17-point deficit in the second half at Houston. Mark Ginotto, the commercial appeal. According to ESPN, Memphis had previously gone 0-59 in games in which it trailed by 17 points. Added coach Mike Norvell, "I know they have this in them, but just to see the perseverance throughout. Bodies being battered, tired, having to go on the road on a short week, these are challenges we've never experienced. They were unwavering in their focus and they went out there, and they believed in each other." It was the second straight game Houston watched an early lead evaporate. The Cougars led Tulsa 10-0 last week only to allow 38 second-half points to the Golden Hurricane. Worst half. Memphis was held scoreless before halftime Thursday night for the first time since 2012. Though the Tigers gained 200 yards, they were forced to punt 6 times and committed 2 turnovers. Best freshman. Tigers cornerback T.J. Carter continued his remarkable rookie season against Houston. Though the Nashville native got beat on a couple throws late, he recovered to force a fumble and snagged his team-best 4th interception of the season in the fourth quarter. He also finished with a team-high 14 tackles. "The plays just come to me, and I take advantage of it," he said. Worst decision. Less than 4 minutes remained in the fourth quarter when Houston coach Major Applewhite elected to punt the ball with the Cougars facing 4th and 1 from their own 41. They were nursing a 38-35 lead over Memphis at the time, but had yet to stop the Tigers during the second half. Memphis then promptly drove down the field 80 yards in 8 plays to score the game-winning touchdown. Best records. Ferguson set a new school record Thursday night with 471 passing yards. Sophomore Patrick Taylor Jr. tied a school record with 4 rushing touchdowns. The Tigers are also bowl eligible, 6-1, for the 4th straight year, and they've only been to 3 consecutive bowl games once before in school history. As a result, the Memphis seniors tied a program record for career wins, 33, during a 4-year span Thursday. Worst throw. As good as Ferguson was in crunch time, he had several errant passes during the Tigers' rough first half. Those issues culminated with an interception late in the second quarter when Memphis looked to be on the verge of finally scoring. Ferguson tried to force the ball past cornerback Garrett Davis, who came up with the interception and returned it 58 yards to set up a Houston field goal. Best review. Ferguson nearly had a second interception in a crucial fourth-quarter moment when he attempted to throw a fade pass to wide receiver Anthony Miller in the end zone. Officials initially ruled that Houston junior Jeremy Winchester came down with the interception, but the call was overturned after review. One play later, Taylor bowled his way through for another touchdown to cut the Memphis deficit to 31-28. Please say it hit the ground," Ferguson said when asked about his thoughts in the moment. Worst play call. Memphis had already picked up 3 first downs on its second possession of Thursday's game when Norvell and his offensive staff elected to try something different facing a 3rd and 2 situation. They elected to line up Taylor in the Wildcat formation and split Ferguson out wide as a receiver. But before the ball was snapped, Ferguson was whistled for a false start. Memphis subsequently failed to pick up the first down and never regained its momentum until after halftime. Best uniforms. Memphis debuted a new uniform combination Thursday night, wearing a gray striped helmet, gray pants and a white jersey. Houston, meanwhile, celebrated its annual blackout game by wearing dark charcoal gray jerseys. It didn't make much sense. Worse timeouts. To close the first half, Memphis kicker Riley Patterson ended up kicking a 52-yard field goal 4 different times. That's because Applewhite used all 3 of his timeouts in a row to ice Patterson. The freshman went 2 of 4 on his attempts, and he missed the one that actually would have counted on the scoreboard. Best tweet. Sophomore receiver Kadarian Jones might get in some trouble with Norvell for this, but he sent out a tweet at halftime that foreshadowed what ended up happening Thursday night. Jones simply wrote, "Watch this." At 8:46 p.m. over the next 16 minutes, he drew a pass interference penalty and hauled in a 28-yard catch that nearly resulted in the Tigers' first touchdown.